Good afternoon, children. As we have completed lesson number 8 and 9, so now we will start lesson number 10 of your history, and that is colonialism, rural and tribal societies. It means colonialism, the British period. In British period, which type of societies were there in the villages? Rural means village area, and in the tribal life. Tribals you must be knowing. Children, you have already read in the previous lessons that establishment of East India Company rule in India was a long journey full of struggles, battles, wars and diplomatic moves. In the previous lesson, we have read about so many wars. Carnatic wars, then Anglo-Mysore wars, Anglo-Maratha wars and Anglo-Sikh wars. We all know that the English, the Britishers, came as traders and became our masters because they took the advantage of our internal situations. The situation of India at that time was not good. Political instability was there, and that situation, advantage of that situation, weak central authority, that the Britishers took and they became our master. Slowly they conquered India from south to east and then headed towards the north. Gradually they emerged as the supreme power in our country. There was hardly any aspect of Indian economy. Economy means related to financial matters. There was hardly any aspect of Indian economy which was not affected by the British. Means Britishers' main intention was to gain more and more profit, and that's why all the sectors of Indian economy were badly affected. Unlike the earlier rulers and invaders. Invaders means attackers. Those who attacked on our country to loot the great wealth of India. These English, they totally shattered the traditional self-sufficient rural economy. In our village area, they were ruler, they were self-sufficient. Self-sufficient means, you must be knowing, recently our present Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, has also said this. In this pandemic situation, we have to be self-sufficient. And at that time also, our rural economy was self-sufficient. But what happened? The Britishers, they totally shattered it. They took the raw materials from our country and then they flooded our markets with their machine-made goods. Machine-made goods were cheaper also, as well as of better quality also. So people started buying them, and as a result what happened? Our traditional handicraft industries, cottage industries, they were totally shattered. The economic exploitation of India by the British ruined the peasantry, means the farmers, agricultural sectors, uprooted the tribals. Here we have to read about tribals also, where tribals were living in the forest, and the Britishers, by making different forest laws, they uprooted the tribals and destroyed Indian trade and handicrafts. So in this lesson, we will read these things only, that how Britishers destroyed our economy. Now we will see what was the colonial agrarian policy. Means colonial agrarian. Agrarian means related to agriculture. Agrarian policy, and what was its impact? How did it affect our farmers? That we have to read. Now, Colonial agrarian policy means what were the policies of the Britishers related to which sector? Agriculture sector. Before the advent of East India Company, before the coming of East India Company, the rural life in India, rural life means the villages in India, that life, the life of the villages was simple and self-sufficient. Means production was in the villages only, what was needed for their simple living. The British brought many changes. In which fields they brought changes? Land revenue system. Land revenue system means what? Collection of taxes. Then agriculture, trade, industries and administration to guard their own interest. What was the own interest of the Britishers? To gain more and more profits. And therefore, the East India Company devised various methods to ensure the collection of revenue. Revenue from which parts? Indian territories that were annexed, that were joined and controlled by them. As the British Empire expanded, the amount of revenue also increased. So much so that land revenue became the biggest source of income for the company. Here we are talking about which company? East India Company. And what was the biggest source of income for East India Company? Land revenue. It was the biggest source of income for East India Company. At this stage, land revenue settlements were introduced. Various land revenue settlements were introduced with an aim to legitimize the practice of economic exploitation. Means Britishers were exploiting us. How they were exploiting? In which field? Here we are talking about economic field. But to make that exploitation legal, their aim was to make those exploitation, economic exploitation, make legal, and that's why they introduced several types of system. And these systems were, first one was Jamindari system. Jamindari system. It is also known as permanent settlement. And in this, it was introduced, Jamindari system was introduced at which place? Bengal. It was introduced in which year? 1793. And who introduced? Lord Cornwallis. These questions are very important. What was Jamindari system? Where was it introduced? It was introduced in Bengal. In which year it was introduced? It was introduced in 1793. Who introduced? Lord Cornwallis introduced. One by one we will read about these systems in detail. Then second one was Royatwari system. Royatwari system. This Royatwari system was introduced in which parts of India? South and West India. Royatwari system was introduced in South and West India. Then the third one was Mahalwari system. Mahalwari system. And Mahalwari system was introduced in northwest provinces. Northwest provinces of India. Northwest provinces and Awadh. I have told you that Britishers introduced various types of land revenue system to make their economic exploitation legal. First one was Jamindari system. At which place it was introduced? Bengal. Second one was Royatwari system. At which place it was introduced? South and West India. Then next was Mahalwari system. At which place it was introduced? Northwest provinces and Awadh of India. One by one we will read about all these systems in detail. First we will, among all these revenue system, first we will read about Jamindari system. Jamindari system was also known as permanent revenue system or permanent settlement. In Jamindari system, it was made a hereditary right of the Jamindars. Jamindars means landowners under the permanent settlement. And it was Jamindari Bandobast. It was also called Jamindari Bandobast in 1793. According to this system, if the question comes, write about Jamindari system, what you will write? According to this system, Jamindars were made the owners of the land and were forced to pay 89% of the total revenue. 89% of the total revenue to whom? To the British government, to the Britishers, and their own share was only 11% own share. Now understood? According to Jamindari system, Jamindars were made the landowners. This Jamindari system was introduced in which year? 1793. As earlier I have told you, Jamindari system, at which place it was introduced? Bengal. In which year it was introduced? 1793. Who introduced? Lord Cornwallis. What was in Jamindari system? This Jamindari system was also called permanent settlement. And according to this Jamindari system, Jamindars were made the landowners and they had to pay 89% of revenue to the Britishers. Their own share was only 11%. Now you just think that if they had to pay 89% of revenue to the Britishers, then they forced whom to give more and more revenues? They forced the farmers to pay more and more revenues even if the crop was not there. And the system gave birth to a new class of landlords, and these landlords under this Jamindari systems were called Rajas and Talukdars or Jamindars. And Jamindars had the power to evict any cultivator, to evict any farmers of the soil due to non-payment of revenue. Means any farmer failed to pay revenue, then Jamindars had the power to evict that cultivator, to send them back, to take the lands from them. And for this, what Jamindars used to do? They used to do oppressive methods to collect the taxes. From there, where they were collecting the taxes? From the farmers, from the cultivators, and from those taxes they were giving 89% of the revenue to the Britishers, and how much they were keeping for themselves? 11%. And this, the peasants were compelled to take loans. From where? Peasants means farmers. Farmers had to pay taxes to the Jamindars. Jamindars were committing atrocities on the farmers. They were exploiting the farmers. As a result, what farmers had to do? They were taking loans from the money lenders to pay unpaid rent, and which made their life miserable. Ultimately, who was the sufferer in Jamindari system? Farmers. And on the other hand, maximum benefit went into the hands of Jamindars, who were made the landowners by whom? By the British government. And Britishers were also getting how much percentage of revenue? 89% of revenue. Their own share was only 11%. So it was Jamindari system. Next system of land revenue settlement was Royatwari system. This system was introduced in South India in which year? In 1820. Earlier we have read about Zamindari system. It was in 1793. Now Rayatwari system was introduced in 1820 by whom? Thomas Monroe. Thomas Monroe. This Rayatwari system was introduced. Later it came into effect in Bombay area also. Earlier it was introduced in South India and in Bombay area, Bombay presently known as Mumbai. This system established a direct settlement. According to this system, what was there? Direct settlement of land revenue. In the previous system, Jamindari system, we have seen the land revenue in between Jamindars were there. Between the peasants and the Britishers, Jamindars were there in Jamindari system. But now in Rayatwari system, a direct settlement was between the government. Government means which government was that time? British government. Between the government and whom? Ryots. Ryots means the cultivators. And the revenue was directly collected from the cultivators. Cultivators means ryots. That's why this system is known as Rayatwari system. It was taxes were directly, revenues were directly collected from the cultivator and it was directly going into the hands of Britishers. In Jamindari system, in between mediator were Jamindars also. But here the revenue was directly collected from the cultivators. They were known as Ryots and it was quite high. And under this Rayatwari system, the tax was not based on the production of the crops, but on the potential of soil. Means if the soil was fertile, then if there is no crops, then also farmers, ryots, cultivators had to pay the taxes. So it was also not good. The ryots were forced. The ryots means the cultivators. Cultivators means the peasants. Peasants means the farmers. They were forced to pay revenue even when there were no crops due to any of the reason like flood, droughts or any other natural calamity. But then also they had to pay the taxes to the British government. Why? Because under this Rayatwari system, tax was based on the produce, not based on the produce, but it was based on the potentiality of soil. Now, the third system was Mahalwari system. We have read about permanent settlement, that was Jamindari system. Then we read about Rayatwari system. In Jamindari system, what was there? Jamindars were there. The Rayatwari system was direct settlement. And Mahalwari system means the taxes were collected from the group of villages. And those groups of villages were known as Mahal. And that's why this system is known as Mahalwari. Mahal means group of villages. This Mahalwari system was a modified version of Jamindari system and it was introduced by Hall Mackenzie. Hall Mackenzie. In which year it was introduced? 1822. So Mahalwari system was introduced in 1822 by whom? By Hall Mackenzie. In which provinces this system, Mahalwari system, was introduced? In the provinces of Gangetic Valley, Northwest provinces, Central India and Punjab. And according to this system, what was there? In this system, a collective settlement was made with a group of villages and that group of villages were called Mahal. And it was the thinking of the Britishers that the land, the forest, the pastures land belong to the village community. It is not individual. It is for whole village. So, the villages were jointly responsible for the payment of land revenue, and it was levied on the produce of a mahal. Mahal means, I have already told you, group of villages. These all the systems we have read about: Jamindari system, Royatwari system, Mahalwari system. These all the systems ultimately exploited whom? The farmers. This Mahalwari system was also, it proved to be a curse for the peasants in the form of impoverishment. Means this system, Mahalwari system, made the peasants poor. Then they were evicted from land and they were exploited by whom? By the money lenders to whom they used to take the money. The widespread resentment, unhappiness among the farmers due to these systems, due to these tax revenue collections of the Britishers in North India between 1830. These systems were between 1830 to 1840. Exploitation was there, and it was also a major cause of First War of Independence, which was fought in the year 1857. So children, here we have read about colonial agrarian policy. Means what was Britishers' agricultural policy to gain more and more profit. First we read about which system? Jamindari system. Jamindari system was introduced at which place? Bengal. In which year it was introduced? 1793. Who introduced? Lord Cornwallis. What was in Jamindari system? It is also known as permanent settlement. According to this system, 89% of revenue Jamindars were made the landowners, and 89% of revenue they were giving to whom? To the Britishers. And how much percentage of revenue was their own share? Their own share was only 11%. And this, according to this system, farmers were Jamindars exploited the farmers, and farmers' conditions were very miserable. Then second system, revenue settlement system, we have read about Royatwari system. It was introduced in which year? 1820. It was introduced by whom? Thomas Munro. What was in this Royatwari system? A direct settlement. Means in between no mediator was there between the government. Government means here we are talking about the British government. Between the British government and the Royats. Royats means the cultivators. There was no one in between, but it was a direct method of tax collection, direct settlement of tax collection from the Royats to the British government. Royats means cultivators. Cultivators means farmers. Farmers means peasants. So it was Royatwari system. Then we read about the third system of tax collection, revenue collection, and that third system is Mahalwari system. Mahalwari system means, Mahal means group of villages. Here what happened? It was a modified version of Jamindari system. Here Mahals were responsible for giving the taxes, and Mahals means what? Group of villages. This Mahalwari system was introduced in which year? 1822. It was introduced by whom? Hall Mackenzie. And in this system also what happened? The village community were jointly responsible for the payment of land revenue, and it was levied on the produce of a mahal. We have seen that in all the three revenues collection system, ultimately farmers were the sufferer, and this Mahalwari system also proved to be a curse for the peasants. In which form it affected the peasants? In the form of impoverishment. Then they were evicted from their land. They were exploited by the money lenders, and due to all these three systems, farmers, peasants were unhappy with the colonial government, with the British government, and this the widespread resentment among the farmers of North India between 1830 to 1840 was one of the cause of the revolt which was fought in 1857, and that revolt was also called First War of Independence or Sepoy Mutiny. So children, today this much only, and your homework is you have read about all the three systems: Jamindari system, Royatwari system, Mahalwari system. You just write two sentences on these three systems. Like Jamindari system, introduced in which year, who introduced, and what was the method of tax collection. Same in Royatwari system, you will write introduced in which year, at which place, by whom, and what was the method of tax collection. Then about Mahalwari system also you will write introduced in which year, at which place, by whom, and what was the method of tax collection. I have explained you. You can see this video again and again and write this and submit it on our WhatsApp group. Thank you.